So hi and welcome to this video. So today I'm basically going to be talking about how you can actually protect the interior on your car. So I know a lot of people out there are sort of kind of interested in keeping the car clean, but there are definitely people out there that are really interested in detail in the car, and part of that really comes with actually protecting the interior surfaces. So this is something that I definitely do, and it's something that I did straight away when I bought my new car. And basically I think that protecting your interior, particularly if you kind of want to keep the car for a long time, is just something that's really important. So really you can clean the car and you can get so far with that, but if you actually want to sort of prevent things like fading of the plastic, stop things like leather from tearing and scuffing and things like that, there's definitely some things you can actually do to sort of really kind of take it from just keeping your interior clean to actually making sure it just looks newer for longer, basically. So there are 3 surfaces that really you can kind of think about when you're trying to actually protect your interior, and your car might not have them all, but the 3 are leather, fabric and plastic. So of course it really depends on what car you've actually got. For me, I have leather seats, part of my dashboard is leather, most of it's plastic, and then I also have obviously the carpets and the mats are fabric, and then obviously the plastic dashboard as well. So really I'm kind of want to protect all 3 of those to make sure, you know, they are looking for new for as long as possible. So really I do think they're all kind of quite important. Potentially out of the 3 I'd say that plastics was the least important. Obviously the main aim of protecting the plastic is to kind of prevent fading from things like, you know, obviously UV, and that will eventually sort of happen over time. It also can protect things like staining as well, if you know, spilling things on your car, but really I kind of keep my interior quite clean, so that's not really much of an issue, but definitely the fading kind of aspect is why I protect the plastic. Also the fabric, that's mainly to kind of protect against spillages. I don't really tend to spill anything in my car that often, but definitely kind of on the carpets and the fabric, if you get in the car with muddy shoes, then it can actually be so much easier to actually clean those carpets and mats if you've basically spent the time just to apply a sealant and protect it that way. And mainly really the thing that I'm most interested in is protecting the leather. So really kind of I want to keep the leather looking as new for as long as possible. I know that when you get a new car, obviously that tends to be what you're thinking about, but generally like I've seen sort of cars that otherwise look pretty clean, but they've just got really like scuffed leather, and it just doesn't look great at all. So really protecting the leather, obviously with leather seats, you sat on them all the time. I'm driving around like 200-300 miles a week, and if you don't apply some kind of protection to that, then definitely can get worn out pretty quickly. So that's basically the 3 surfaces I would say really need protecting. So now I'm just going to talk about how you would actually do that. So personally I do what's applying a sealant is what I use to actually protect the interior surfaces. So they're basically all kind of similar format. So all you do is basically spray them on to the surface, let them either dry or spread them over, and then basically you're pretty much done. So really when it comes to actually protecting the interior, it's really easy to do, and you're basically only going to need 3 products to actually do it. So I'm basically now just going to talk about what products I actually use. So of course there's so many different sealants and kind of laser protection and dressings and things like that you can use on your car. So there are loads out there and they all are really great, but basically these are the ones I've tried that I think I would probably recommend the most. So basically first up is what I use to protect the plastic and the dashboard on my car. So here I use this product here. So this is G-Techniques C6 Matte Dash, and basically what I really like about this is the matte effect that it leaves. So really I'm not a huge fan of kind of glossy interiors. I think that I want the car to look how it looked when it was new. So for me basically it was always matte, so I wanted to kind of keep it that way. So that's why I kind of like this product. So basically all you do is spray it on, spread it over with a microfiber applicator, and then I just leave it for around 5 to 10 minutes and then just buff away any excess. But usually it leaves quite an even finish, and it is quite easy to apply. Also takes basically 2 minutes to actually put all over the dashboard, and it sort of, even though my interior is quite new still, it does kind of bring back that sort of black look a little bit, and without making it shiny, it does kind of make it look newer. It's a bit hard to explain, but it does definitely improve the overall look. But the main things that I'm sort of interested in here is just protecting it against things like UV and just stopping fading over time, just generally keeping it looking new. So this is products that I'd recommend for that. Of course there are others out there, but if you're looking for a matte look sealant for your dashboard, looking for something quite cheap as well, this can actually be picked up quite cheap, then this is a good one to go for. I think there are bigger versions of this, but really I've got the smallest one and found I've still got sort of half left, and I've had it for 2 years. I apply it every 3 months just to keep it topped up, so you don't really need that much of the product to actually spread over. Just a couple of sprays on a microfiber applicator will basically cover the entire dashboard, so it's really kind of cost effective product as well. So the second product you might want to think about is your fabric sealant. So obviously if you've got fabric seats, then this is going to be even more important, but even for things like your carpet and your mats, it's just going to make cleaning a lot easier if you actually apply a sealant to that. So again, sort of going with the G-Technique line, I have this smart fabric basically sealant, and it's one of those, you've probably seen videos of them out there where basically you'll spray them on the fabric, leave them to dry, and then when you put water over them, it just beads completely, and it basically looks like a really, really good wax or sealant actually on your fabric. It's pretty cool actually, the kind of effect it has, but obviously the main things with this is that it's just going to repel sort of dirt, muddy water or any spillages really easily. So I find that after I've applied this, it's really kind of a lot easier to actually clean the carpets and mats, and it just keeps them looking a lot better really. So I don't actually apply this that often, really don't find that you have to. So personally, I apply this every 6 months to the carpet and the mats, and I find that that works really well. Of course, I don't apply it on the seats, but if you do have fabric seats, then you can do that as well. So the last products that I basically use to protect the interior of my car is my leather sealant. So for this, I use Gion's Leather Coat, and I really, really like this product, partly because it's really cheap, and partly because it lasts quite a while and it leaves really nice finish on the leather. So again, I don't really like that shiny look that a lot of products and dressings give, so something like this leaves a matte finish, which I really like on the leather. Just keeps them looking new, and I don't like that shiny look. That's not really what I'm after, so something like this works really well. So basically all you do is spray it onto a microfiber applicator, spread it over and leave it to dry. So to coat an entire leather seat, it's going to take about 2 minutes to do. So it's really quick. So I basically do this every 3 months just to make sure the leather is looking nice generally, and it's also protected. So this is basically, it's a leather sealant and not a leather conditioner, and it's where a lot of people tend to get confused with actually looking after the leather. So generally, what a lot of people don't know is that the leather on your car is actually coated, particularly for modern cars. Some vintage cars obviously don't have coated leather, but the vast majority of leather in cars these days is coated. So when you apply a conditioner, basically you're just going to apply it and wipe it straight off, because the conditioner can't actually go through that kind of clear coat on your leather. Whereas basically the best product to use on newer leather is a sealant, and that basically it works the same way as a wax sealant would on your clear coat on your paint. It basically sits on top and tries to sort of preserve that clear coat on your leather. So generally just sort of protecting that, you're stopping things like friction that are going to potentially scuff the leather and cause it to look worn. Obviously it's hydrophobic, so you're not going to get issues if you spill anything on there. It also leaves quite a slippy finish, which is quite good, but I always notice it after I've actually applied it when I sit in the car. It always kind of feels nice and like kind of new when you actually sat on the leather. It sort of completes the look of the interior as well. It's a really nice product, it's a really nice finish that it leaves, and also it's pretty cheap. So I have basically half of this left now, and I purchased this 2 years ago when I bought my car, and basically I've still got half left. So it works really well. You basically need absolutely no product at all to be able to sort of coat the leather. Normally like 2 to 3 sprays on an applicator pad and you'll coat an entire chair. So it works really well, and this is the product I'd recommend. Obviously there's loads of leather sealants out there, but what I would say is when you are looking to protect the interior leather on your car, 9 times out of 10 you'll probably want a sealant rather than a conditioner. If you are dealing with uncoated leather, potentially it's a bit older, if that kind of clear coat's worn away, you'll know that if basically when you put water on it doesn't sort of bead up, that's when you'll know whether the leather's still got a coating on or not. Then you can apply a conditioner, and afterwards I would still recommend applying a sealant, as you can get those anti-UV properties, sort of that hydrophobic coating and that dirt repellency and things like that. You'll get out of a sealant more than you'll get out of a conditioner. So generally I think that these are really kind of the products that most people should go for. So if you do want to learn a little bit more kind of about how that product's actually applied and how you actually use that, then I'll leave a link in the description, and if I remember I'll put a card on top of the screen now, and basically that'll take you to a link where I sort of go through how the process to actually seal leather and why you might want to do that instead of conditioning. So I'll leave a link for that in the description. So in terms of actually application, most products tend to work the same. So regardless of whether you go for the options I've chosen or you choose something else, then generally most will come in a spray format. You'll just spray them on and basically spread them with like a microfiber towel or an applicator pad or something like that. Just make sure you've got an even coating, leave it to dry, and maybe buff away any excess on certain products. So they do they are really simple to apply, and basically I find that if you give the interior a really deep clean, then they will last quite long as well. So that's really sort of what I'd recommend with these products. Although they are really easy to apply, you'll definitely get the most durability out of them if you actually take the time to really deep clean the surfaces. So for that, I basically just use Built Hamber's Surfex HD, which is just an all-purpose cleaner, just to give the interior a good clean beforehand, and then just wipe over it with a damp microfiber towel just to remove any kind of residue from that APC. So they are really simple to apply, and then after that I just put my sealant on and leave it, and all the surfaces are protected and they all look new. And I think it definitely kind of completes the look of the interior if you are sort of after that and you maybe keeping your car for a long time, you want it to look good. So thanks for watching this video, I hope you have enjoyed. If you have, then definitely be sure to hit the like button. Comment down below if you've got any questions, maybe about the products or the techniques that I use. And also, if you do enjoy this kind of video, you want to learn more about detailing or different product recommendations or sort of full transformations of vehicles, then this is kind of what this channel is all about. So everything to do with detailing. So if you do like that kind of content, then be sure to hit the subscribe button. So thanks again, and I'll see you next time.